Some of you eagle-eyed viewers have noticed I haven't been posting as many videos recently, and there is a reason why, and one of those factors that I'll quickly discuss is about the threat that I received to the channel recently. I have ummed and ahed about sharing the details surrounding that, but I figure it's best to just be transparent, and hopefully this doesn't cause any grief in the future. But I did put out a video where I was on a bit of a rant, maybe a little bit aggressive, and my video was in response to a promotion or advertisement on the Everything Electric show, or the Fully Charged show, about Herschel Infrared heating panels. And on the title of my video was "Infrared heating panels are a waste of money," and in the thumbnail I said infrared heating is a con. Now, if you want all of the details of why I've come to that conclusion and why I believe that, then you'll have to go and watch that video for all the details. But I do stick by the points made in the video, and it did spark quite some debate in the comments, which I always welcome. And there were a lot of people who had great first-hand experience, so the comments were worth the time to read them. But subsequently, this video obviously came to the attention of Herschel, and they sent me an email. So they sent me an email 5 days after the video was published. And in the video, they said, "It's come to our attention that you're using our logo on a video thumbnail on your channel. Discussing infrared, use of our logo is not permitted without our express authorization." Fair enough. That's a fair request. Although I know I'm taking liberties by using logos in my thumbnails. I didn't really think it was a massive issue I'm not a commercial competitor, and this is just kind of a bit of a hobby thing, really. As a private individual, I thought no big deal, but of course that's important to Herschel, and so straight away I hold my hands up. Shouldn't really be using people's logos, but I also didn't think much of it, because in the past I've used logos from HeatGeek, Octopus Energy, Ovo, Vaillant, Auto Trader, eBay, Facebook. What other logos have I used? Sunsync, Give Energy, Fox Energy. I don't know. A long list of logos that I've put in my thumbnails. I know it's a little bit naughty, but I don't think it's really causing any harm. Oh, of course, Ripple, when I had a little bit of a dig at the finances surrounding Ripple. Heatable. Don't forget Heatable as well. So as you can see, quite a long list. Never had any negative contact from any other companies. In fact, quite a few of the companies that I shared some critical thoughts about and some cynicism actually contacted me either directly by email or they've replied in the comments. And in one video where I pointed out that HeatGeek is a lot more expensive than Octopus, HeatGeek, using their official channel, they replied and they commented in the video, and they said, great, this is, good for the heat pump market, that we've got cheap, we've got expensive, everything else. That's a great way to do business. I had a similar thing with Heatable as well. Heatable have commented on a couple of my videos where I haven't necessarily shown them in the most favourable light. But clearly, they stand by what they're trying to do, and they don't have any problems with it. Also, My Energy, Grow Watt, they were a couple more when I spoke about home storage batteries not necessarily being a sound financial investment. Lots of caveats. Again, if you want the full explanation of why I believe that, go and watch that exact video. So I thought maybe Herschel were overreacting slightly, but as soon as I read that, I thought, fair enough, I will change that thumbnail straight away, no problem at all. But then they went on into the in their email to say, "We request the logo be removed with immediate effect and the action confirmed back via email." Absolutely fine. So as soon as I read this, it was Monday lunchtime or just after lunch, because this is a email address for the channel, not my main email address. So there's always a bit of lag, and sometimes I don't check it for a few days. But then it went from request, or however you'd like to term it, turning it to a threat. And I think this is poor form by Herschel. I presume this marketing and communications manager was not acting by himself, but having worked for quite a few businesses, one thing that I'm very sensitive to is business ethics. And one of the reasons that I left my employment with one of the biggest companies and one of the biggest brands in the world that every single person watching will be very familiar with the brand. I left them because of the poor ethics at every level of the structure of management and directors. And questionable ethics are always something that I am very cautious and very sensitive about. So when they then went on to say, if this is not carried out within 1 working day, so this starts to become, verging into the territory of making threats. We will be reporting your video to YouTube and raising the issue with Google with a request to remove your channel from its index. Now, this is quite interesting. There may be people who know a lot more about the Google and YouTube relationship, and you may be able to tell me whether this is in fact possible. And the reason that I got a little bit upset by this this threat was when they suggested that they were going to have Google remove the channel, not just the video, not remove the video, but the channel. And I thought, well, that's taking it a bit too far, isn't it? A request, fair enough. I respect that that's their logo. I shouldn't really infringe upon their rights to use that, and I didn't have their express permission, of course, so absolutely fine, I'll go away. So my initial reaction was, let's deal with the issue that they're raising, and then we'll go back. So straight away I updated the thumbnail, removed their logo from it entirely. So if you go back and watch the video, you'll see it's just a generic far infrared heating panel, and has no specific logo, even though really my attack wasn't, or my concerns weren't necessarily aimed at far infrared panels as a whole, but they were really aimed at the claims that the top people at Herschel had made, and especially around the economics and the viability of infrared heating panels as a whole home solution. I still think the claims are very dubious. But anyway, so what was my response as soon as I'd read their email? So they sent it, here we go. So they sent it 5 days after the video went live. I saw it the morning after, checking through the channel stuff, 10 a.m. the next morning. So I changed the thumbnail and I replied straight away. Dear Sam, I've updated the thumbnail now to remove your logo. Would someone from Herschel be willing to come onto the channel and discuss the points raised in the video? Now, to this day, I haven't received any reply to that email. And what are we now? We're more than a month on from that incident. I did follow that up a couple of weeks ago with a telephone call, because there is a telephone number on there. But there was no one that knew the issue or was willing to speak to me. There was no one available, and I thought there's no point poking the bear. If they were interested in coming and actually putting forward their defense, their rebuttal, if they really stood by their products and they really stood by the claims that were made on the Everything Electric show, then I would expect them to be able to spare someone to come and put a rebuttal to the assertions that I made. But they haven't done that. They haven't sent a person. They haven't answered my email. They could have even just sent something in writing, just to maybe take my 5 main points and maybe respond to them, but they haven't. So anyway, here we are. I feel like this is probably something I should just get out into the open and we can just move forward. I am very concerned that maybe Herschel think they will want to take matters further, but I hope we can just continue to have an open dialogue about these things, because we want to be moving forward all of these technologies that will help us decarbonize That is everything from me today. Goodbye.